order the Recreation Committee meeting for October 23rd, 2023. I'm Commissioner Nick Scull. To my left is Commissioner Cheryl Locker. To my right is Commissioner Anthony Cruci. Our solicitor. I don't want yeah, I know. I think I'm serious. And Kate Kohler, our Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation. Are there any announcements, presentations? Hearing none. Move on to approval of the minutes.
Microphone.
Okay.
Microphone. Nick. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Mr. Camlin, are there any announcements or?
There was just the one about hopefully Pat will talk about the grant that we received. Will you be mentioning that for Woodlawn? I think that's a pretty big announcement.
Mm-hmm.
It was not on the agenda, but happily we received a $1.25 million grant for Woodlawn Park from Land and Water Conservation Fund for the improvements of the master plan that was created over the past year with all of the help of the residents, especially the neighbors of Woodlawn Park. So $1.25 million towards that project.
That's huge.
That is
Congratulations and thank
Congrats.
you.
Yeah.
It's almost magical.
Fell out of the sky.
Other than that, we don't have any announcements.
Oh, just 1.6. All right, approval of the minutes.
Good.
No comment.
I have an addition on September 25th minutes under Library Trustees Report for arrows down.
I'm sorry, which Roman numeral?
I'm sorry, Roman numeral 5, letter B.
Okay.
All right, it says a subsidy application, but that's a little longer than that. A state aid library application, library subsidy application for 2024. And I'll share this copy with you.
Okay, super. Thank you.
All right, now to the subject at hand. Kate Kohler, have our Parks and Recreation Committee report.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's my pleasure to highlight some of the items our department has been participating in the past month. Patrick Stasio, our director, has been monitoring the progress of the environmental improvements at Farmstead Park. Also, he has requested funding reimbursement from the granting agency, and the work is about 75% complete. Would like to invite you all to take a stroll out there at some point. There's big changes and it looks wonderful out there.
I agree. It's amazing.
Pat has also continued to follow up with the solicitor as to the status of the Fair Oaks property site, the small lots adjacent to adjacent neighbors. No progress has been made through the court system to this point. It has been over 2 years of waiting.
It's a tough one.
As far as Recreation Division, we held our biannual Fall Frolic Tween Dance in the beginning of September, where we maxed capacity. We had 150 teens come out to the Pennypack site in Hatboro for a night of dancing and frolicking. We were
I love the frolic.
lots of frolicking. We had enlisted the help of the Upper Moreland Key Club. We had about, I want to say maybe 12 students come out to help. They judged dance competitions, they served refreshments, they helped clean up. It was wonderful. We had our Upper Moreland Parks and Recreation Advisory Council members there, as well as some Upper Moreland Free Public Library volunteers. So that was a successful event.
Awesome.
We also have employed our first intern in a while. John Reese has been with us since the beginning of September. His focus has been on marketing strategies. He's been updating a lot of our literature. He's been creating flyers, promoting our special events, and just overall program support. So he's been a great asset for the past 2 months to our department. And lastly, I just want to highlight that our Parks Division, Jim Murphy, our Parks Foreman, has met with a person who is making a donation in memory of someone at Masons Mill Park to install the new bench that was donated. And he has met with Pat, the director, to review an area at Pelleggi that we are setting to remove invasive plants and add native plantings. Any other questions on our monthly report?
How much do you have to donate to have a bench placed?
I'll let Pat answer that.
I'm thinking of somebody.
Thank you, Kate. Yeah, I deal with that pretty directly. So our donations policy is, it's $750 to the township, which goes to annual maintenance. Then you have to buy the item that you want to donate, and then you also have to buy a plaque. A typical concrete ended benches with wooden slats is about $350. There's benches, if any of you have been to our gazebo where we have the concerts, there's a couple of benches there that have musical notes. They're metal. Those benches were about $1,800 a piece. The one we're talking about here was a little over $2,000. It's a fancy higher end bench. So they would have to pay for the bench, the plaque, and then the $750 donation. Trees range anywhere from $250 up to, $2,000 or $3,000. So it depends what you want to, what you'd like to donate.
Where will the new bench be?
The new bench is installed, and the tree, that person also bought a tree. It's up the trail at Masons Mill Park, kind of near the left field foul pole of the first softball field. So near the picnic grove.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you, anonymous donor.
Right?
That's right. All right, moving down. The Library Board and Trustees report. I'm a slow reader.
I've come with props. Hi, good evening, I'm Maureen Wennick. I've been a trustee since June of 2020. I'm in Ward 4. First of all, I think in your packets, you have the October highlights, but you all were emailed the November highlights, so I'm going to ask if you would send them onto your distribution list so that the community can see all the great work that the library is doing. I am going to highlight, there is a YouTube live stream with Arthur Eric Smith. So if you are interested in writing, this is probably a great program for you to attend. It's November 20th from 6:30 to 7:30. So this month I am here with a book club in a bag. Megan Friedman, our trustee, was here last month and she did mention this. This is great. There's accessibility in this as well. Each book in a book club in a bag comes with an audiobook and comes with like six different books in here. And it also comes with a folder that allows you to have a guide when you are doing your book club. So it's pretty exciting, I think. There's 57 book titles over there that you can get a book in a bag. So you all know how excited I am about our library programs. So I just want to let you know, we've actually have circulated 54 items this year. So I think that's pretty successful. 6 weeks, you can take this out so that you have enough time to hand out your books and collect your books at the end. The library conducted 3 community input focus groups. 14 volunteers have been involved with the focus group so far, and there was another one October 29th. The purpose of the focus group is to gather information, which will be reviewed along with the results of our digital survey. So if you have not taken that, is that still open, Marge? Yeah. You can still do that. And then it helps to strengthen our strategic plan so that we can make sure that we're serving our community. Just want to thank the Friends of the Library. They had their jewelry sale, and there are still some items for sale over at the library. Their support helps the library with our special programs, technology, and furnishings. So we do thank them a lot. The Friends of the Library, their annual membership meeting is on Tuesday, November 14th. The public, they are welcome to attend to hear more about the purpose and the activities of the Friends. They also are seeking executive committee positions for a new treasurer and a secretary. and as well as a publicity committee chairperson. So if anyone's interested, it's November 14th at 7 o'clock. Additionally, the library, the Board of Trustees, we are also looking to fill 2 positions, 2 seats for the term of 2024 to 2026 to start in January. Any Upper Moreland Township resident that is interested in serving as a trustee are welcome to attend our meeting on Wednesday, November 8th at 7 o'clock, our Board of Trustee meeting at 7 o'clock in the community room. There is an application online that we would ask for them to fill out, and that would be available on our website. It is the umfpl.org, and it's at the About Us tab. Looking ahead to Thanksgiving, we are closing Wednesday before Thanksgiving at 5 o'clock, and we obviously will be closed on Thanksgiving. And I think that's it. Are there any questions?
I want to ask about the survey groups. I heard some report about it at our board meeting. Just wanted to, has there been another meeting or another?
We have
Large
one
shape.
more, we have one more survey, which will actually, I think it's the teens? The 29th, right? Sunday afternoon. And that is actually going to be talking about discussing library programs for 18 and older. So, yeah.
Okay, good.
There also are some boards over there. If you've walked into the library, you see there's some very simple questions and you can put your little dots to answer. We also encourage the community to fill that out. All this information is what we need to know how to serve our community better.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say, so I may or may not have partaken in one of these events. It was well attended. It was the Friends of the Library was very generous with their time, and there was lunch and snacks and things, and it was great. It was an hour and a half, which seems extremely intimidating when you sign up for it, but I guarantee you that once you're in it, it flies by.
Yeah.
The participants were extremely friendly. Everybody was very nicely opinionated. I think that's a good caveat to put in there. And it was a good time. So there is one more. If there's still slots, I highly recommend people sign up for it if they have teens or if you are a teen and would like to participate. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Lastly, before I end my report, I would like to announce that Margie Repka-Peters, her retirement is effective Saturday, November 11th.
No, it's not.
After 21 years of service to the Upper Moreland Free Public Library. The Board of Trustees, we have hired longtime librarian Kathy Gilmore, who is here this evening. She will be our new executive director. At this time, I believe Margie would like to say a few words. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that applause. That was very nice. So commissioners and township management and everyone present here in the room or online, I just would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude for the privilege of serving the Upper Moreland Free Public Library Executive Director since 2007. After 21 years of employment here, I believe it's time for me to pass the gavel to a new executive director. I would like to assure you that Kathy and I have been working side by side since September to ensure the public, staff, members of the library, and Upper Moreland Township personnel experience a smooth transition of library leadership. My commitment to the Upper Moreland Free Public Library's success remains unwavering. I am confident that with Kathy at the helm, the library will continue to thrive and meet new heights. I believe the Upper Moreland Township community is enriched by our beautiful library, and thanks to you, the commissioners, to Matt and Randy as well, along with all of the Upper Moreland Township employees. Please recognize that Upper Moreland Free Public Library shines as an excellent Montgomery County library, and that is a direct result of the support provided to the library personnel regarding the library's mission, vision, and values. Over the years, for as long as I've been employed by the library, I've brag to the other Montgomery County Library directors that I'm very lucky to have Upper Moreland Township's commissioners and management value the library as such an integral part of our community. So once again, I thank you all for that you have done during my tenure, and thank you in advance for your continued support as the Upper Moreland Free Public Library provides free and equitable access to diverse resources, fosters lifelong learning, and promotes cultural enrichment. Wow, most importantly, we remain fiscally responsible. Thank you all.
And Margie, I moved here in 1989. All my children, now in their 40s and 50s, were at the library for story time. I've been in the township during your whole career, and I can say the last 17 years have been just wonderful. And the library is just a wonderful resource. Thank you.
Thank you, Margie. It's always been clear how much you care about the library and your hard work. One thing I know you have lots of accomplishments, but one thing I know that's coming along is the Outdoor Environmental Education Center. That was a big thing to take on, and you've really seen it through, and it sounds like it'll be there soon. Thank you.
Sure.
May I, or would you like to go
waiting for
first?
you.
Thank you. There are two people that I credit, sorry, this is a selfish plug, I apologize, but there are two people that I credit with getting me involved in local government and local volunteer work. One was Joseph Laval, and the other one was you. You found out I was an architect, and I was put to work instantly doing lots of things for the library and to help see it through. But that outreach and that commitment to not only the library, but to the community in ways that others around here can be better to help, was something that you really pushed out there. So thank you for that from me personally. And for the community, my wife and I are in that library all the time, and we use it all the time. So if it was your idea to put the savings at the bottom of the receipt, thank you for doing that. Now you can speak, go ahead.
Thank you, Commissioners. I just want to echo everyone else's comments about your passion for the library and for our community. And Kathy, you have some big shoes to fill. Good luck. We're here to help you.
All right, well, moving along in our agenda. Ms. Kohler, we have a Shade Tree Committee Commission report. This committee.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. Our Shade Tree Commission is approaching its anniversary. If you recall, we started January of 2023. Our first meeting, we established a mission, and that was to offer educational resources to residents and to cultivate and improve the tree canopy in the township. Our committee is made up of 4 Parks and Rec Advisory Council members, 2 staff members, and a member of the Environmental Advisory Council. I'm super excited to announce the goals that we had established at our first meeting. We have met and exceeded. So our first goal that we highlighted was education initiatives. We wanted to produce some website resources and highlight the Upper Moreland Landscape Regulation Ordinance. And we have done that and posted it on our Upper Moreland Parks and Rec website. We created a user-friendly native planting informational guide and posted that as well. So if somebody's looking to landscape their backyard, their front yard, they can turn to this document and see some native plants. They are divided up by shrubs, flowering trees, shade trees, so whatever they're looking for, we're hoping they find. Our second goal was to complete a park tree inventory. Now, of course, we have not been able to inventory all of the trees in all of the parks, but we did have committee members inventory 6 of our smallest parks, the parks that are under an acre, and we are currently gathering all of that information to present to the Parks and Rec Advisory Council at our next meeting. And our third goal for 2023 was to attend 2 community events as a committee. We not only attended several events, more than 2, we created one of our own because that's what we do. We bring the fun. We attended the Free a Tree at Farmstead Park in February. That was in with the Pennypack Ecological Restoration Trust. We also attended the Arbor Day celebration at Mason's Mill in April. That was put on by the EAC. We created an event that we selfishly wanted to gather information from neighboring municipalities who already had established shade tree committees to get some information from them. So in June, Jen and I worked to reach out to these shade tree committees and offer them some snacks and refreshments in exchange for information at about a 2-hour event that we called the Shade Tree Branching Out event, pun intended. And since then, we have kept a listserv of emails, so all of the participating agencies are able to ask questions, share information with each other, so we're not, reinventing the wheel. So that's been super beneficial. The second to last community event that we are attending this Thursday night is the Pennypack Trust Tree Tender Workshop at Farmstead Park as well. And the last event that Jen, our rec assistant, and I are attending is a forestry workshop in Montgomeryville in November. So we're taking this and we're running with it, and hoping to use all of the information that we gather to benefit, the canopy of Upper Moreland Township. I'll be happy to answer any questions that any of you may have regarding the Shade Tree Commission.
Is there a pun workshop? Because I think you had 4 or 5 of them.
That would fall under more recreation than shade tree, so we'll work on that.
I've certainly learned a lot. I always wondered, what does the Shade Tree Commission do? And you're educating me, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm very excited about the Shade Tree Commission. I think the trees are so important to our environment, and then also I just think it looks so much nicer. So thank you for all your work on that. And I did have a question. Was there talk about maybe long-term looking at a downtown tree plan?
We had discussed that as our committee, as far as inventorying the trees that are there, and making recommendations along with the EAC as to what types of trees can be planted. It's kind of been tabled because of all of the improvements that are occurring right now. And we also want to match what's happening across the street. So, what they decide to plant, we want to.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to number 7, the new business, Farmstead Alliance request for the township to apply for DCED funding. Mr. Sandman.
He's just here for moral support tonight. So commissioners, you may have read the agenda summary for this agenda item. The Farmstead Alliance is requesting to apply for a DCED funding grant. We would like you to approve this request. Some specifics of the request: there's a $100 non-refundable grant application fee. It is not a match grant, so there would not be additional funds needed if we were awarded. And as you can read, the request includes a grant application for Farmstead for a master plan of each structure. Throughout the years, Farmstead Park has received a few previous condition reports, building plans, et cetera. And what this grant will be set to do is to take all of these previous and outdated condition reports and kind of collate it into like one comprehensive plan that we can use moving forward to request more grant money. So we found, well, Alan found this particular funding source and thought that it aligns perfectly with our mission for Farmstead Park and its future improvements.
Knowing a lot about Farmstead Park and funding and this board, I think $100 is a very easy thing to approve. Pass that on to our November 13th meeting.
So can I just say one thing?
Sure.
I do support this. I think it's important to, as a first step, as you said, to obtaining grants. My only question and concern is whether this is also an entity that we could apply to for a grant for Woodlawn Park, just because we still have a lot of matching funds that or cost to complete for that project. So I didn't know if this was the same type of grant that.
Sorry. We've already applied for DCED funding for Woodland Park. That happened in May of this year. We asked for $250,000. This would not preclude us from other applications that the township is interested in. This grant is, and the name is escaping me, it's the Local Share Grant for this particular type of service. So
We could even apply for a different local, do these funds apply for, or?
So DCD has 25 different categories of grant opportunities.
Okay.
This would not preclude us from applying for other grants. Many of those DCD grants are matching grants. This is not, which I think is key. So no, it will not preclude us.
Okay,
And we're not going to compete against ourselves, if that's the question.
thank you.
Sure.
I guess I also don't fully comprehend what we're requesting. So it says for a master plan of the structure, we've done structural analyses of most of the buildings. Is this an aggregation of our already paid for product? Or is this a new structural assessment that'll build on those old reports?
Come on up, Al.
Alan?
Morals, give us the moral support.
So basically what this opportunity is going to provide us is the ability to round up what is documented so far. In 2016, we have a conditions assessment report still applicable. It's not lost any relevancy, and we're still using it, as well as other documents that we're putting together. What this whole opportunity is going to do is enable us as an organization and as the township to be able to start thinking with the buildings in terms of not only its restoration, but phasing in the completion of the buildings and starting to phase in programming. That's going to be the kicker as far as what we're going to do with the buildings. And so that's what this opportunity would provide for us. So
Who provides the actual services?
So this would be, we would be working with essentially an architectural firm.
Of our choosing? Or Farmstead Alliance's choosing?
Right, so it just, full disclosure, I received the opportunity notification from our current architectural firm that's working with us on the roofing project. So Mark B. Thompson and Associates. And it was timely in that we were having discussions about whether we should just go ahead and do a reinvigorated a sort of a master plan 2.0 to wrap up what we have not yet discussed and plans for the 4 buildings. So yes. Yeah.
This grant would cover that architectural firm services to produce this report.
The focus would be architecture and engineering planning efforts that would help the township and our organization plan to go after money and for construction projects in whatever phase that we determine in order to get the buildings online, occupancy, and using them. So.
And then, sorry, last question. Do we have a proposal of services for this scope of work?
It's currently in the works, okay. And it's something that we'll be able to use as far as getting the grant application in. So it's right now it's being worked on. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Bless you.
I just want to, and excuse me for jumping in, The grant is due near the end of November. So while we don't have a complete cost, what this will cost us, the numbers that we need for the grant, we needed to get this on the agenda to see if the board would approve this, the $100 spending for the application.
Understood. But it does sound like, I mean, you've already identified an architectural firm. They're working on a proposal for the services to put this together. So I would assume you would have a budgetary grant estimate to apply for by the end of the month.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. Thanks, Ben.
All right. Let's see. Other items. Ms. Kohler, the Upper Moreland Parks and Recreation special events upcoming.
Thank you, Commissioner. For those of you that attended our Pumpkins on Parade event this past weekend, thank you. It's lovely to see you there. We had about 250 families out at Masons Mill Park for our annual Halloween event. I also would like to thank specifically the Upper Moreland High School Key Club for sending their volunteers. The Upper Moreland Library was there with their storytelling witch. The Willow Grove Kiwanis Club decorated Safety Town. Our Upper Moreland Parks and Rec Advisory Council members were there judging pumpkins and working all of the stations. The Willow Grove Bears Football Organization had their snack stand there, so that was good. The Upper Moreland Police Department had a trunk or treat, and the Willow Grove Fire Department had their touch-a-truck there. So it was a lovely event, a little windy, but the rain held off, and we were out of there before first pitch, so that's important too. I also want to mention a few things coming up. Our Farmstead Park holiday photos. We started that last year as a fundraiser for the Farmstead Alliance. It's sold out in the weekend. We sent the information out on Friday, and we had 21 spots available, and they're all booked. So that is being held weather dependent on Saturday, November 11th. And what that is families pay a sitting fee. They come for 15 minutes. And they are granted 3 photos and an online gallery as well. We have our Upper Moreland basketball foul shooting, another pun on words. You shoot foul shots for foul to eat. This is a drop-in event, and it's being held on Friday, November 17th at the Upper Moreland Middle School from 7 to 8:30. You pay $1 for 10 basketball foul shots, and there are several age categories, and whoever wins their age category wins a turkey for their family for Thanksgiving. It's a gift certificate, but we make really cute little turkeys like to give to them. We are also doing a food drive with that, so if families bring a canned good to the foul shooting contest, they get 10 free shots, and that is with the Willow Grove Baptist Church as well. So we started this last year, and we were pretty successful. I think we delivered maybe 7 boxes of food, and that was specifically from collecting from our Golden Age Club, this foul shooting contest, and then we also collected from the staff here at the township. And finally, our Calls from Santa, which is a very popular event that's being held on November 12th. Residents call in with specific requests, blackmail, whatever it might be, to get their children to behave. And we have some connections with the big man, and he makes personalized phone calls to community residents. It's a wonderful, wonderful event we've been doing for several years. And that's what's coming up in Parks and Rec. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't have any questions. I really like this department.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Any visitor comments for tonight? Any commissioner comments?
Thank you. I do want to, I did attend the Pumpkins on Parade. It was a great event. Did a good job as they always do. Very popular event. Last week I had mentioned a Faith in Blue event that we held, and I had forgotten that it was Barbara Keck that helped us out with that event. So it's a great event. It's very helpful. I'm here to make a statement. We had a tragedy on what was it, October 8th. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Mary Meisner as a member of our community, from Student Aid Panel, Library Board, Parks and Rec, and things she did with young girls for pageants. She was an active and accredited member of our community, and she'll be lost. I just want to say that she did a lot for this community, and I appreciate the relationship I had with her and everything she did for us. Thank you.
I'd have to add, I knew Mary in the polling place. She was my constable. And one year there was a scuffle in the parking lot, and I had just come home from the hospital, and she stood in front of me and said, "Don't you go out there." And she went out and she yelled at the people. You know Mary, she was a feisty lady, but not real tall. But anyway, I really appreciated her. All right, well, we're adjourned.
Well, hold on a second. Sorry, you didn't say commissioner well, I guess maybe you said commissioner comments, but he stood up as a visitor. I don't know what
Hold on.
Anyway, thank you. I just want to plug an awesome event that's happening this Saturday at Farmstead Park. The Historical Haunts event, second annual. It's Saturday at Farmstead from 5 to 7. Family friendly, an all ages event. Costumes are welcome. Light refreshments. It's free for everybody. We'll have a bonfire, drinks, and then some interesting facts were found out about the farmstead recently and the spirits that may or may not inhabit the facility. So there will be storytelling about that. It should be a very lively event. So come on out.
And there's going to be a bonfire.
And a bonfire.
I love that.
That we approved the last 2 weeks ago. So. All right. Hit the gavel if you want.
All right, we're adjourned.